Over the last couple of days, I've been going through a lot of the older comments on my channel and basically trying to clear out some of the trolls here and there. But one comment that I've seen over and over again is how Donald Trump simply cannot be the Antichrist because he's not smart enough. And in fact, this type of comment has started to come up again in some of the more recent videos. So I thought I would talk about this one more time and go over whether or not the Antichrist really does need to be smart. Now, of course, if there's one criticism of Donald Trump that is almost universal among his detractors, it's that he is a fool, even a complete idiot. And as evidence of this, many will simply point to Trump's own statements as a reflection of his limited ability to understand things. Now, of course, Trump himself has the complete opposite assessment of his own intelligence, referring to himself as a genius on several occasions, and many of those who support him do think that he's brilliant, that he's constantly playing four-dimensional chess in order to outwit his opponents. Now, Trump does seem to be a bumbling fool at times, and it's often because of how crudely he speaks and how ignorant he is on many subjects. However, being crude and ignorant doesn't automatically equate to being an idiot. If we put aside his ignorance and crudeness and remember that he views the world through the lens of his own ego, we're likely left with a man who is about of average intelligence, perhaps a bit less. He is not the genius he claims to be, but neither is he the idiot that some would portray him as. But let's get to the heart of the matter. Does the Antichrist have to be brilliant? The Bible actually does not say anything about the Antichrist being smart. A lot of that is a myth based on the Left Behind nonsense and other Christian fiction, where the Antichrist is portrayed as being young, attractive, brilliant, charismatic, and all these other attributes which actually are not even mentioned in the Bible. The Bible does, however, give us one key insight into the intelligence of the Antichrist. That verse is Daniel 8:23, which reads as follows: "And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up." The words understanding dark sentences, or as the New King James translation renders it, understanding sinister schemes, is a window into the innate intelligence of the Antichrist. He is a master of intrigue. This is the only Bible verse that references the intelligence of the Antichrist, and it's telling us that he will be brilliant at one thing: intrigue. And intrigue is defined as machination, which is scheming or a crafty action intended to accomplish some evil end. It's basically as if the Antichrist will be a savant in that he is brilliant at one thing: scheming. His mastery of intrigue is the only intellectual trait given to us, and yet it perfectly describes not only his limited understanding, but the power he wields and why he is able to succeed in all that he does. So this is the only description in the Bible of the intellectual ability of the Antichrist, and it tells us that when it comes to conniving, the Antichrist is a savant. What makes all of that interesting is that in a 1992 interview in New York Magazine, Donald Trump said this: "I'm a guy who lies awake at night and thinks and plots." That is his focus. That is what he does best. He schemes ways to get what he wants or to get revenge. He might not be a particularly brilliant man, but he is a savant when it comes to scheming. But beyond this, there are many, many other descriptions given to us for the Antichrist, and in order for Donald Trump to perfectly match them all, he just has to be himself.